Here we go. We are live, guys. Reporting right from Vegas, the hotbed. Here at AAPEX, it is absolutely an automotive monster. We have SEMA going on, AAPEX going on. So many great things to talk about, but more importantly, combat off-road. Ryan Stoangi.
Stoangi.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's okay.
I should have asked you before.
I kind of like it. I felt like a sports car there. Appreciate it.
No, that is awesome. Ryan, CEO of Off-Road Combat, man, would first off want to thank you for hopping on the 2W podcast, man. Yeah. Everything that we do is about elevating the industry from next level, from the replacement side, the performance side, the off-road side. And, you know, what I'm always intrigued of, I'd love to learn a little bit more of your story with off-road, how you got in the business, how you got in the industry, and go from there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I can do a quick one.
Pull the mic up a little bit.
Sometimes it's a little long in the tooth, but
that's all right.
Basically, I started as a little kid, loving cars,
loving
trucks, you know, digging cars apart, gluing them back together with a hot glue gun, you know, burning myself. So I got into that part, and we had like a garden center.
Yeah.
On, apple orchard. So my dad would give me field cars and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like $20 cars, and you have to figure out why they weren't working when you break them. And that kind of just went from there. And I started off in the basically the retail off-road. So I was 22. I opened my first store. I lived in it for 4 years. And,
where are you out of?
So I originally from Canada, so Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
So yeah, I did multiple off-road stores in Canada after I got out of living in the first store.
Yeah.
And then one day I just, you know, I sat there and go, you know what? I don't like these instructions. I don't like this hardware. I don't like how this fits.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna make my own stuff, right? So basically that's what I did. I just I was in a good position where I didn't have to be in the daily functionalities of the off-road stores, and I just started tinkering and coming up with our own products, and then I slowly pushed myself out. And you know, just recently I sold my last store, and it's 100%.
No way.
I've always, the last 4 years I've been full-time in the manufacturing business, but I don't have to worry about any of the retail environment any longer. So it's pretty exciting for us. Family's excited. We're gonna look at relocating down to Utah.
Okay.
Put a little building up there, do some prototyping, and we'll have a warehouse there. Our warehouse is in St. Joe's, Michigan right now. Okay. Probably just add another warehouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Push on.
What when you think of combat off-road, what off-road are y'all specializing in?
We mainly focus right now on Jeeps.
Okay.
We got some Bronco stuff in the mix. So Q1 through Q4 will be a bunch of Bronco stuff come out all through 2025. We're going to get into some more overlanding stuff and some specific stuff to help the overlanders. And then we'll probably pull in some Toyota products. And then secretly, at some point in the next couple of years, I want to do some side-by-side stuff.
Oh, 100%.
They're a laugh, so make me an excuse to get a couple and have some
Let me ask you this. Whenever you start getting it, so obviously you get in the accessory side. That's the side that people just get really into their vehicle, right? They love it. It's a passion project.
Totally.
But the passion project, it's their hobby, right? I mean, that's what they just enjoy. I mean, I've got many buddies that, you know, they love it. And when you know, as being in this business for, you know, the better part of your career,
half my life I've been
half your life.
Yeah, I started really young.
Yeah, as a manufacturer, how do you look at developing product lines? How do you look at the growth based on vehicles coming out, based on the VIO? I mean,
there's lots of elements. Like, you know, a lot of people rush to the Bronco market because it's cool, and they did, you know, my opinion, they really copied a lot of Jeep things, which isn't bad, but they just didn't have the manufacturing numbers. In 2020, I think they made like 5,200 Broncos, right? So people spend it takes a lot to bring a product to market and multiple products if you're going to do that. And all of a sudden you're sitting on, you know, $1 million, and there's only 5,000 of these things out. Even though if you went to SEMA in 21, you would have saw like Broncos everywhere, but you know, there just wasn't enough volume production, in my opinion, to put a lot of money into it. But now they're at the Jeep numbers. And unfortunately, Jeep has gone down a little bit because Stellantis had some challenges.
Yeah. Well, they just did a big round of layoffs as well, man.
Yeah, and
their automakers are struggling on certain areas.
Yeah. So, but now Bronco's cut up for production. That doesn't mean they're going to catch all the old numbers because Jeep is like 1 billion Jeeps out there. Well, obviously not. That wasn't.
Well, the Jeep following is crazy to me.
Well, it's a huge car. It's like Harley Davidson.
And they got all those ducks on there. I got 12 ducks because somebody that said it was awesome Jeep, right? Isn't that how that why you if you like the Jeep, you give them a duck?
That's the idea. I knew the lady that started. She actually passed, unfortunately. But really nice lady. But that's what happened. Really, she was having a tough day. Someone was screaming out at her. Somehow she had a duck, and she just help your days better and gave her a duck. And then it kind of like went to crazy land. You know,
I have a buddy of mine, Eric Lazo. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a big Jeep guy, right? And I didn't grow up. My grandpa gave me his Toyota Tacoma, and then I became a Toyota guy because he's like, grandson, the best money you could ever buy is in a Toyota. They don't, and so it's stuck in. He's 100, he's 99 when he died. But to this day, I drive a Toyota, right? it just whatever.
What's another subculture that's very strong, right? Smaller numbers, but super strong.
Very strong. My granddad, for better part, I'm 39. The better part of my entire life, drove a Toyota.
Right.
Refused to drive anything else.
Yeah.
He was on. He would buy a Toyota Tacoma every 2 years, and I'm driving a Tacoma. That's what his thing is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my buddy Lazo, he actually was talking about the Jeep kind of thing, and I said, "What do you have all these ducks on there?" And he goes, "Oh man, they give them to you whenever they like your Jeep." And I started to get more. I didn't know the whole story just until like a few years ago.
Right. Yeah.
It's
bizarre if you're out of it. I mean, I'm not a duck guy because a lot of the original like off-road guys are like, oh my God,
Yeah.
But I think the culture of it is really comes from a good place.
Totally.
And it's good for the kids too. Like kids, they got a duck, they think it's cool. And that's how they're saying like, oh, it's such a cool Jeep. Like my daughter comes to the shows and she'll get ducks and she'll put them on other Jeeps that she likes.
Oh, it's indoctrination.
Yeah.
It's indoctrination of the next generation, right? Because as a kid, dad has a Jeep and he can give his buddy a duck.
You could. I don't give anyone a duck.
Well, your daughter.
But she does.
Yeah, your daughter. And that makes her feel good.
I had a lady chase me down the highway for like hours. I pulled off at a Buc-ee's on my way to Florida. And I was driving one of our Jeeps. And I would just stop, pump gas. I see, you go and drive for a while. You see someone every once in a while. Like, oh, yeah, the people's still there. And then I just pumped gas. She's like, hey, brake right over my shoulder. I was like, what? She goes, I just have this military duck. I thought you'd really like it. Because we have the combat logo on the Jeep. And I said, wow, thank you. I mean, as crazy as that crazy lady seemed, it all came from a nice place. So I think that was cool.
It was a compliment.
Yeah, it was so
She
cool.
was totally giving you a compliment on your work.
She came off the highway. You know what I mean? So
that's got to feel good.
That's what I mean. That's why that's the things I like about the duck, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, and as a manufacturer, you have a whole nother appreciation. Of the innovation that you happen in off-road. I mean, you build products.
Yeah, totally.
Where can people check out Combat Off-Road? Where can they? Do you have how do you want people to buy your products? Ideally,
I love I come from a shop like a jobber, so like a retailer shop. If you can, it's tough out there. So if you can support your local shop, that's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of local shops have access to us through distribution or through direct.
Yeah.
If you had a local shop and you wanted to buy through them to support them, you could just send us a message. I could make sure they knew about where they get our products if they didn't already. I'm all about doing that. So you can find us on Instagram. It's Combat, _off-road. Facebook's Combat Off-Road. And then websites combat-offroad.com. And then you can buy through us too, but that's fine. I mean, I love anywhere you can get the product.
Yeah.
I'm an enthusiast and I design the products to make sure that people enjoy them. And that's all we're here. We're here to do like a high quality product for a fair price with a lifetime warranty. And, within reason, if you have a challenge with something, like I'm an enthusiast too. So, and I design the product. So it's cool. I was like, oh yeah, man, that shouldn't happen. That hasn't happened, but if it does, we don't turn away any customers that way.
But I think it's important. And I love that you kind of said, because our industry is a really tight industry, and it's really important to keep, our distribution and retailers. We ultimately want the customer putting the greatest product in their hand, but don't be afraid to support your retailer, right?
Totally.
If you're looking for Combat Off-Road and you're like, oh man, I didn't see it. And by the way, we'll tag all your social on all these posts. So all of our listener base, you're going to pick up all of our socials. And I'd imagine a good way to contact you directly. Are you active on LinkedIn?
I'm not active.
Or engage just through your website?
Yeah, website. Yeah, there's a couple of like the info email or, all that stuff. Or, that's probably the best one. Then it can get through the team, because sometimes it gets a little lost in social, right?
Totally.
So that's tougher. But yeah, if you really had real
info
at combat-offroad.com.
Info at combat-offroad.com. So if you have any questions, go that route. but I think going back to kind of the distribution piece, I think that's, you know, the key is getting the right part to the right customer whenever they need it, right? Get them to understand your product, feel your product. I think what you're doing is awesome. I think it's really exciting. I got to ask, man, where do you go from here? What's the future? What's it looking like in 2025? You got any
just
product releases?
Oh yeah, we'll have a whole bunch through the whole through the whole year. We're just gonna do launches for different stuff, and like I said, we'll bring in some more applications. The Bronco, probably the Tacoma, maybe a 4Runner. Definitely into some more specific overlanding stuff. So universal products, some multi-fit, stuff like that. And then, like I said, I'd like to do the side-by-side at some point, some aluminum stuff that that's kind of what we do the most of. So it'll be some cool stuff, but that might take me, a year goes by so fast. Right?
I know.
So,
well, and we're going to blink and we'll be back here.
Oh, exactly.
I know. Well, I know. This is, gosh, I got in the industry, through meeting the president of the distribution, David Honig, and I just fell in love with the industry. Like,
oh, it's great.
I didn't know I didn't know I was going to love it so much. Like,
well, it's driven by enthusiasts, right?
Yeah.
Like, really, like everyone here is, even everyone, especially in the SEMA side, is these guys are all enthusiasts. They're like, I wanted a better product. I decided to go for it. I had the nuts to push
100%.
And now I have products, and then I'm like, I have more products. So that's kind of pretty much all those guys. And even if they're bought up by PEs and stuff, it did start there. You know what I mean? And then you got the guys in the industry that work there, like my national sales manager, Stan there.
Yeah.
He's been in the industry. He's an enthusiast. Everyone is an enthusiast. So it's fun because you can all relate. I'm just talking even automotive. Like, I love drag cars. I love go-karts. I love it all. But yeah, that's the best part about the industry. If you're making toilet seats, there's not a lot. I like to have a toilet seat when I need it, but I'm not a toilet seat enthusiast. You know what I mean? It's tough, right?
Now, if the toilet seat's not there, I got a problem.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now
we're gonna have a major problem. I got to find a fucking toilet seat.
Yeah, exactly.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a frustration than anything. But cars, trucks, dirt bikes.
Well, I even think, because we're seeing a lot of private equity come in, and I don't know your personal situation with the business or if you've been approached by private equity, but we're seeing more private equity float into our industry.
Yeah, and like, it was heavy for the last few years, and then it kind of lightened up. And then I had two actually before here. Like, I'm just gonna say hi because I want to build a legacy brand personally. It's kind of, this is my passion. This is what I've always done. So I do want to stick around for a lot longer, and own the business and just be a family business. There's only a few of us. There's a lot of bigger guys that are bigger than me that are in it. They're still family, like Rock Crawler's still a family business.
Totally.
There's still a bunch of really cool ones that are still owned by the original guys.
Well, I think that's what's, for me, is really attractive. Like, when you look on the replacement side, you're looking at replacing the original equipment. You look at all, but our industry, even any sub-vertical in it, our industry is driven by a really close connective tissue and a really kind of an enthusiast and a passion for automotive. And even whenever, my opinion, like, I've been a part of, private equity coming in and doing things, but at the same time, it's not lost the enthusiasm, right? It's just kind of a different way capital kind of coming in to help build great products. It's not a negative, in my opinion.
Sometimes I think it is, and then sometimes in the nice, happy endings, it isn't, right?
Oh, well, there's been a lot of those. There's been those. So you have to, but it's case by case. But I think the more that we keep our industry really tight and tight knit, and kind of to your point, how do you buy combat products? Look, check your retailer, first. Check your local distribution first. You can buy through us, of course, but we're not here to kind of, we want everyone in the ecosystem to be successful, but ultimately the customer to have a great combat off-road product on your vehicle. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's it. Like, buy from who you like. If you can't find them, we'd let you know. There's some good, reputable, because that's a fear too, right? You got your $70,000 Jeep.
Totally.
And you're going to put 10 or 20 grand in it, or $5,000, or whatever your upgrade is. It's still your money, right? And it's like, I don't know if Bob's 4x4 is a great spot. Like, if you're local and you're new, just let us know. We have a really big, dealer network, and we can let you know, like, a good place. I'm not going to, throw anyone under the bus kind of thing, but I'm happy to be like, hey, well, there's a place an hour away from where you go. They're a really great shop, do great work. Like, I'm happy to make sure that you spend your money and you're happy. And if you buy our products, it makes me happier, but I know it'll make you happier too, because I designed them come
That's
from a place
awesome.
of experience.
That's it's a fulfilling deal.
Oh, it's
man.
so cool seeing your stuff, or like go to a big show. Like we were at Great Smoky Mountain, like you see people carrying your boxes around.
Oh, there's so much gratification.
It's my it's you know, there's hard days, but it's a dream come true, really. You know, it's all I want to do is make products, sell them to good people, put some money in the bank. Of course, that's it, you know.
Well, I appreciate it, you know, because I appreciate you coming on the 2W podcast, man.
Thanks for having me.
We launched this purely for the industry, purely for the enthusiasts, purely to help, you know, grow it. And guys like yourself come on and support it, right? We ask for nothing other than, hey, the support. This is a layer that we do for the industry, and I love it personally. But I'll tell you, to our listener base, man, Combat Off-Road, Ryan, it's really been awesome having you. I hope you have a great week out here in Vegas, and looking forward to. We're gonna have everything on social. Pulled it so everyone will see it. But please consider Combat. If you're a Jeep, I'll be looking forward to new product releases.
I'll send you an email as soon as it's ready.
Oh man, my granddad died a year ago, a year and a half ago. Oh, he's 99.
That's a great life.
He was a World War II vet, man.
Wow.
He went through all 5 stages of battle. So shout out to Gramps. But man, that guy was, he's a Toyota. Like I've never met, he loves them. And I love them. So
yeah. I think they're great. Like I said, I came from the retail space. We did a lot of Toyota stuff, man. And I just haven't got there yet. As soon as we got to do Toyota, I'll be buying a Toyota too. I'm going to have them all. I'm bad. You know, I gotta have 20 vehicles at a time or I'm not doing something right. You know what I mean?
Anyways, Ryan, man, so glad to have you on, man. Thanks for doing everything you do to our industry. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Appreciate it,
man.